Thanks. We are joined by Tyler James, co-publisher of Inside ND Sports. He was in Dublin to watch that showing on Saturday. Notre Dame looked really, really good on both sides of the ball, Tyler. I want to start with Sam Hartman. We were all wondering, we knew the pedigree. What's he actually going to look like in a game with a gold helmet? It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, hard to have many complaints about what Sam Hartman did against Navy. Sort of what you expected, but you got to actually see it in play. And we didn't necessarily know who were those wide receivers going to be that he throws to, but he seemed to be comfortable with any number of guys. He was spreading the ball around to a number of different positions, making some plays downfield, scrambling, helping out his offensive line by making some guys miss and keeping plays alive. And I think it's exactly what you were hoping for when you went and got Sam Hartman in the transfer portal, someone that can come in, carry games if needed, and I don't even think that Notre Dame necessarily needed to or asked him to, but he sort of took over, especially when they got near the end zone, to get him into the end zone.
Yeah, they probably didn't need him to carry the game on Saturday. That's because they blocked so well and they ran the ball so well. Interesting development from Monday's press conference with Marcus Freeman. Audric Estime put the football on the ground at one point on Saturday. The Irish didn't lose the fumble, but nonetheless, they took him out of the game as a means of punishment because that's below the standard. As a result, several other scholarship running backs got chances, and you come to find out Notre Dame's got a whole stable of guys that can carry it.
Yeah, the talk in preseason camp was they have a five-headed monster back there, and it's like, well, how are you going to get five guys carries? Yeah. Well, they did. Everyone got carries. It was at one point Notre Dame had as many ball carriers out of the backfield that Navy did, which isn't something you would expect given that Navy's triple option. So the fact that all those guys got in the game, that they were able to get all that experience was helpful. Certainly a learning moment for Audric, who has had a couple of fumbles earlier in his career. But the fact that he sort of took that punishment, those other guys stepped up in their place and showed some things. Jadarian Price's first career carry for a touchdown. That was a good thing, and I think the offensive line certainly did a lot to help those guys out and paving some clear paths for them.
Yeah, we had two guys get their first career touches on Saturday. They both resulted in touchdowns. Jaden Greathouse, the freshman wide receiver, also with a touchdown the first time he touched the football. I think it says something about Audric Estime that you can pull a guy who isn't a captain, but is basically a captain out of a game. He handles it with maturity, goes back in and does his job, but I think Notre Dame probably feels pretty happy to have seen what they have behind him in meaningful reps. It'd be one thing for those guys to do it in the fourth quarter, but to do it in the second and the third, it's different.
Yeah, especially a guy like Jeremiah Love, a true freshman. He gets some moments. He didn't have a lot of moments in camp because he was dealing with some hamstring issues. There was the last scrimmage they had, he got some real live hits for the first time, and that was sort of his test, and then you get to actually test it against Navy. That's a good thing. And so you get those guys that don't have experience. Jadarian Price, like, he had a great spring as his freshman year, ruptures his Achilles, but then to get back out there and show that he's fine, I think those are all good things. And yeah, it starts at the top. Everyone knows Audric Estime is the lead running back in this group, and no one's necessarily arguing that, but they all want to prove, hey, we can handle it too. Whatever assignment we're given, we can step up and take those on.
They certainly did it in week one. We will see if they're able to do it this Saturday in week two, the first home game, true home game of the season against Tennessee State. We will be back, Tyler, with you next Monday to break down what I think people think will be another Fighting Irish victory.
Yeah, it should be an easy one. Those running backs should have plenty of opportunities again this week.
All right, appreciate your time, Tyler.
You bet.
I'm Pete Byrne from WSBT-22 News. For more Notre Dame stories, like and subscribe to the WSBT-22 YouTube page. Thanks for watching.